Good day, podcast community. Pete Kane here, journaling on purpose. This is our 5-week journey, and this is going to help us to really get journaling for vision and clarity. We're going to cover a couple topics. I'm going to just make sure I cover them. The importance, journaling for defining goals, desires, and a clear life direction. The topics today are the importance of writing down goals and intentions, creating visualization techniques in journaling, and creating a roadmap for success through written reflection. Okay, let's get going. So what are we talking about when we talk about using journaling to define our goals, desires, and a clear direction? We know journaling through our previous sessions creates clarity. When we have 12 to 60,000 thoughts going through this head, going through this mind, it's essential that we get it out, get this stuff out onto paper. So when we talk about goals, desires, and a clear life's direction, needs to be written out, because so many things are going through our mind on a regular basis. We don't have clarity. And without clarity, we're going to drift. Any distraction will take us off our course. The magic is in you, and anything is possible. However, we have to activate it. And to activate it is to write it. Write it so it gets clearer on paper. Do you have to go back and read all your journals? No. But you have to get them on paper. Reflecting on certain things can be very beneficial, but you got to get it out of here onto paper. So let's talk about the importance of writing down goals and intentions. What is a goal? Goal has a deadline to it. It's a dream until it has a deadline. When it has a deadline, it's a goal. So we can say we have goals, but until we write the deadline down and we're intentional about this activity, we're going to drift. And when we drift, we're not clear about what we're doing, and we don't get that momentum. Because we're going for momentum, just like when we started this course, by doing the activities that we give you at the end of the course. We're activating a self-awareness, and we're activating a new habit. Habits create outcomes, and by writing it, putting a deadline, putting our intentions down, we have a clearer direction for our life. That's why it's so critical that we journal on purpose. Yes, it's good to write and journal, but having a purpose gives you a clearer path on your direction in life, because we fall into consumption. It's just a natural thing, because the TV draws us in. And what are we doing besides just if we're doing it for entertainment, that's fine. But do we need to be entertained 4 hours a day? That's the average of Americans that watch TV. Do we need to scroll social media 2 hours a day? If we put them together, that's a third of your day. If you take 6 hours of 18 that you're awake, you're consuming 6 hours of other people's lives. Now, the magic is in you, and creating your life involves journaling. So let's go into the next. Using visualization techniques in journaling. What I find that's helpful for me, and I want to challenge you to try it. I was talking to a doctor at ALO yesterday, We were talking about just preventive more and how AI can help in that process. And so she wasn't really leaning into AI. That's because we get busy doing our thing, but are we visualizing what the future is going to be like? So as we grow, we have to see what's coming. And to see what's coming, we get it out of here on paper. So a technique could be, how can I use AI to enhance my learning, my journaling, and my clarity in what I'm doing? By doing that, we're activating that muscle of a vision, because maybe it brings to you something you didn't think about. So then you take that topic and expand on it. But not only are you expanding on it, you're visualizing it, because our brain needs pictures, needs a vision of the future. It needs pictures that you visualize. I meditate more than I ever did by far. I couldn't do it because I had that active brain. But that active brain didn't have boundaries on it. That active brain didn't have a muscle of focus. Journaling helped that, helped the clarity, helped the idea that if I can visualize as I'm writing and I'm visualizing what I'm writing, the picture that I have, and we have an activity for you, and that is writing, and I'll give it to you just now because it's very pertinent to what we're talking about. To write your 5-day vision for your life. What is life going to look like in 5 years for you? If you don't have a vision of it, can't visualize it, any distraction will take you off course, because you're creating your life, not consuming other people's lives. Yes, you can watch a movie, you can do some things that consume, but do it in moderation, because 4 hours is excessive. When we get when we kind of default to a routine of always watching the TV, we're always consuming. We're not fulfilling this heart of creating your life. By creating our life, we have more excitement, fulfillment. It's just the way we're born. But if we don't intentionally visualize that future, visualize that life, write, get those thoughts out of the mind and onto paper, then any distraction will take us off course. So let's talk about creating a roadmap for success through a written reflection. So we're creating our roadmap. And to do that, if we have 12 to 60,000 thoughts, unless we're writing them out and putting a pen to the paper, we're not getting the thoughts clear in our mind. Because once you write it out, you're thinking it, you're activating different parts of your mindset, which creates clarity. And creating clarity, when you're sitting there and you say, I'm worn out and my energy level's down, I'm just vegging out in front of the TV. We don't want to veg out in life. But if we don't have that clarity, it's easy to fall into that habit. And that habit will not serve you when it's a consumption mindset. So you're visualizing that roadmap. You're writing it out. What do I want to do? I had a friend that talked about it was either a choice between a beach house or traveling. And she was very um, had the mindset that the experiences were more important than an asset. And so traveling, experiencing new places was more important. Well, that's a vision of the future, and that's a choice. We choose to watch TV. We choose to scroll social media. And we do that to the extent that those numbers are real. It's because we don't have a clear vision of our future. So by putting that pen to the pad, writing out what will your life look like in 5 years, write it out. By writing it out, you've created almost the reverse engineer. And you're going to continue to develop it. But this is a muscle, if exercised properly, with intention, with purpose. You give yourself a better chance for a brighter future. And the choice is yours. So, writing it out, journaling, visualizing, meditating, giving yourself clarity, because those 12,000 to 60,000 thoughts, if we don't have a purpose for that journaling, we're not getting clear. We're not getting that clarity we need. So, it's a lot, but it's fun. It's exciting, because when you start creating your life, it's exciting. And your life is your family. Your life is your friends. Your life is your community. Your life can be serving, because if you have that heart for serving and you've journaled that, and that's part of what your life, you want that life to be like. And when you put that 5-year roadmap together and you reverse engineer it, then as you go about every day and you journal and you expand on it. When I started 3 years ago, it wasn't very good. It was actually pretty bad. But we all go through that phase, or we have the potential to. The awkward stage is a stage of learning, of growing. We lean into being awkward. We lean into being uncomfortable, because the outcome is what will make us change us in a way that will help us have a brighter future. We want that for you. I want that for you. But it gets down to journaling on purpose. So when we look at identifying 3 actions, so you have written out, what is your life going to look like in 5 years? It's known that if we have purpose, we live longer. The average person dies 2 years after they retire. Why? They lose their purpose. They lose their vision for their life. They're active in whatever they're doing, and then they're sitting around, not doing anything on purpose, not seeing a bright future for themselves. And when that happens, the body goes downhill. So for you to challenge yourself, 5-year plan, 5-year, what you're going to look like in 5 years, then 3 actions you're going to take to get you closer. And so if you each day are writing 3 things, and then remember what we said, pick one of those 3 and really get that done first. Tackle it with all the energy that you have, because our energy, if we don't manage it, will wind down as the day goes on. That's when we get at the end of the day, we don't have any energy left, and we veg out. We veg out in front of the TV. We veg out scrolling. So managing your energy can be improved incredibly. That's not a word. It can be greatly improved by practicing journaling on purpose, by developing it. 5-year vision of yourself, 3 things. that you can do to move you closer to that. So, as we sum up, vision, journaling for your vision, journaling for goal clarity. Remember, a dream with a deadline is a goal. Without a deadline, it's just a dream, a thought. It's okay to dream, but you got to put that deadline on it. And journaling can help you do that by exercising that muscle. Okay, so we have our next and final is creating a sustainable journaling practice. Because what we want to do, if habits are outcomes, creating that habit of journaling will serve you for the rest of your life. By doing these things on a regular basis and seeing the benefits that we get from journaling on purpose. All right. Thank you. Be bold, make a difference, and have fun.